Hello everyone, and welcome to this exciting journey into the world of circles for CBSE Class 9 Mathematics. Today, we are diving deep into a fascinating concept, the circumcenter and circumradius. We'll explore what these terms mean, how they're related to triangles, and why they're so important in geometry. Get ready to embark on a 4-level learning adventure, from easy fundamentals to challenging competitive insights. Let's begin. Let's start our exploration with the basics. What exactly is a circumcircle, and where does its special center lie? Imagine a triangle, any triangle. Now, picture a unique circle that passes through all three of its corners, or vertices. That, my friends, is a circumcircle. And at the very heart of this circumcircle lies its circumcenter. Think of it as the balancing point for the triangle if you wanted to draw a circle around it perfectly. This special point is where the perpendicular bisectors of the triangle's sides all meet. And here's a crucial fact: the circumcenter is always equidistant from all three vertices of the triangle, meaning the distance from the center to each vertex is the same. Building on that, the circumradius is simply the radius of this circumcircle. It's the distance from our circumcenter to any one of the triangle's vertices. So, if O is your circumcenter and A, B, C are your vertices, then OA, OB, and OC are all equal to the circumradius. Now, for some key properties. The location of the circumcenter depends on the type of triangle. If it's an acute-angled triangle, the circumcenter stays cozy * inside star. For an obtuse-angled triangle, it ventures * outside star. And for a right-angled triangle, it has a very specific spot, right at the * midpoint of its hypotenuse star. Now, it's your turn to test your understanding with some easy practice questions. Pause the video here, grab a pen and paper, and try to answer these. Q1. Define a circumcircle and a circumcenter in your own words. Q2. Where does the circumcenter of a right-angled triangle lie? Q3. If the circumcenter of a triangle is O and its vertices are P, Q, R, what can you say about the lengths OP, OQ, and OR? Good luck! Ready to go a bit deeper? In this medium level, we'll learn how to actually construct the circumcenter and explore its properties more thoroughly. Let's learn how to construct the circumcenter. First, draw any triangle, say ABC. Next, find the midpoint of one side, for example, AB, and draw a line perpendicular to AB through that midpoint. This is called a perpendicular bisector. Repeat this process for a second side, like BC. Where these two perpendicular bisectors cross, that's your circumcenter, let's call it O. Interestingly, if you draw the perpendicular bisector for the third side, AC, it will also pass through this exact same point O. This method guarantees you find the unique circumcenter for any triangle. The location of the circumcenter is a telltale sign of the triangle's type. For an acute triangle, where all angles are less than 90 degrees, the circumcenter will always be found neatly * inside * the triangle. However, if your triangle has one angle greater than 90 degrees, making it obtuse, the circumcenter boldly moves * outside * the triangle. The most special case is the right-angled triangle. Here, the circumcenter sits precisely at the * midpoint of its hypotenuse star. This happens because the hypotenuse of a right-angled triangle inscribed in a circle always forms the diameter of that circle, and the center of a circle is the midpoint of its diameter. The circumradius, denoted by R, is a key characteristic that connects a triangle's geometry to its circumcircle. For instance, in an equilateral triangle, where all sides and angles are equal, the circumcenter isn't just the circumcenter, it's also the incenter, the centroid, and the orthocenter. All four major triangle centers coincide. For an equilateral triangle with side A, its circumradius R is simply a 3. In an isosceles triangle, the circumcenter will always lie on the altitude drawn from the unique vertex angle to the base. These relationships are powerful tools for solving problems and understanding geometric proofs more intuitively. Time for some medium-level challenges. Take a moment to solve these 5 problems. Q1. Describe the process to construct the circumcenter of any given triangle. Q2. A triangle has angles 30 degrees, 70 degrees, and 80 degrees. Where would its circumcenter lie? Q3. If the vertices of a right-angled triangle are A, 0, 0, B, 6, 0, and C, 0, 8, find the coordinates of its circumcenter. Q4. Explain why the perpendicular bisectors of the sides of a triangle are concurrent. Q5. An equilateral triangle has a side length of 6 centimeters. Calculate its circumradius. Good luck! Now, let's elevate our understanding. In this hard level, we'll delve into proofs, connections with other triangle centers, and powerful formulas. Have you ever wondered why the perpendicular bisectors always meet at one point? This is a fundamental theorem. The perpendicular bisectors of the sides of a triangle are concurrent. Here's a quick proof outline. Let's take the perpendicular bisectors of sides AB and BC. They must intersect at some point. Let's call it O. Because O is on the perpendicular bisector of AB, it's equidistant from A and B, so OA is equal to OB. Similarly, because O is on the perpendicular bisector of BC, it's equidistant from B and C, so OB is equal to OC. Combining these, we get OA is equal to OB is equal to OC. This means O is equidistant from all 3 vertices, and therefore, it must also lie on the perpendicular bisector of AC. Thus, all 3 bisectors are concurrent at O, proving the existence and uniqueness of the circumcenter. The circumcenter is just one of several important points in a triangle. We also have the incenter, the intersection of angle bisectors at the centroid, where medians meet, which is the triangle's center of mass, and the orthocenter, the intersection of altitudes. What's truly fascinating is the Euler line. For any triangle that isn't equilateral, the orthocenter, centroid, and circumcenter are all collinear, meaning they lie on a single straight line. The centroid G always sits between the circumcenter O and the orthocenter H, dividing the segment of in a 1:1 ratio. Only in an equilateral triangle do all 4 centers perfectly coincide at one point. Beyond construction, there's a powerful formula to calculate the circumradius, R, using the triangle's side lengths and its area. The formula is R is equal to ABC, 4K, where A, B, C are the lengths of the sides opposite to vertices A, B, C respectively, and K represents the area of the triangle. You can find the area, K, using Heron's formula if you know the side lengths. This formula is incredibly useful as it allows us to calculate R without needing coordinates or complex geometric constructions, making it a cornerstone in problem solving. This understanding extends to concepts like cyclic quadrilaterals, where all 4 vertices lie on a common circumcircle. It's time for the hard-level practice questions. These will challenge your understanding of proofs, formulas, and advanced properties. Q1. Prove that the 3 perpendicular bisectors of a triangle are concurrent. Q2. State the Euler line theorem and identify the centers that lie on it. Q3. A triangle has sides 7 cm, 8 cm, and 9 cm. Calculate its circumradius using the formula R is equal to ABC, 4K. Q4. If the circumcenter of a triangle is 2, 3, and 1 vertex is 5, 7, what is the length of the circumradius? Q5. Explain how the location of the circumcenter changes as a triangle transforms from acute to obtuse. Q6. In an equilateral triangle with side length A, show that the circumradius R is equal to a 3. And finally, Q7. Given a triangle with vertices A, 1, 1, B, 5, 1, C, 3, 4. Find the circumcenter and circumradius. Give it your best shot. Welcome to the hardest level. Here, we'll explore competitive mathematics, vector approaches, advanced derivations, and real-world engineering insights related to circumcenter and circumradius. For a truly rigorous approach, we can locate the circumcenter using vectors. Represent the vertices of the triangle as position vectors, say A, B, and C. Let the circumcenter be O. The fundamental property of the circumcenter is its equidistance from all vertices. This translates to the vector equation: the magnitude of O minus A equals the magnitude of O minus B, and similarly for C. By squaring these magnitudes and expanding the dot products, we can set up a system of linear equations. Solving these equations allows us to precisely determine the coordinates of the circumcenter, a method particularly powerful in higher dimensional geometry and computational applications. The circumradius is deeply intertwined with trigonometry. Recall the sine rule: A sin A is equal to B sin B is equal to C sin C is equal to 2R, where R is the circumradius. This gives us direct formulas like R is equal to R to sin A. We can also derive the powerful formula R is equal to ABC, 4K. To do this, start with the area formula K is equal to A half BC sin A. From the sine rule, we know sin A is equal to A to R. Substitute this into the area formula, and after a little rearrangement, you arrive at K is equal to ABC, 4R, which then gives us R is equal to ABC, 4K. These trigonometric relationships are indispensable for solving complex problems in surveying, navigation, and advanced geometric analysis. While we primarily discuss circumcircles for triangles, the concept extends. A polygon is called cyclic if all its vertices lie on a single circle, which is then its circumcircle. For a quadrilateral to be cyclic, a key condition is that the sum of its opposite angles must be 180 degrees. In the realm of computational geometry, finding circumcenters is vital for algorithms like Delaunay triangulation. This technique is used to create optimal triangular meshes in various fields like computer graphics, for rendering 3D models smoothly, in finite element analysis for simulating physical phenomena, and in geographic information systems, for efficient spatial data representation. Numerical methods often approximate the circumcenter by solving systems of equations, highlighting its practical importance. The principles of circumcenter and circumradius have tangible engineering and scientific applications. Imagine needing to place a sensor, an antenna, or even a public facility that needs to be perfectly equidistant from three specific points. The circumcenter provides that optimal location. In robotics, understanding circumcenters can aid in path planning for robots, especially those with circular bases, ensuring smooth movement around obstacles. These geometric insights are also crucial in designing circular components in mechanical engineering that must align with specific connection points. Advanced problems might involve finding the locus of a circumcenter when one or more vertices of a triangle are moving, pushing the boundaries of your geometric reasoning and analytical skills. Here are the first 5 challenging questions for our hardest level. Q1. Using vector notation, derive the formula for the circumcenter O of a triangle with vertices A, B, C, assuming the origin is not at the circumcenter. Q2. Prove the sine rule in the form A sin A is equal to 2R, where R is the circumradius. Q3. A cyclic quadrilateral ABCD has sides up is equal to 3, BC is equal to 4, CD is equal to 5, DA is equal to 6. Find the area of the quadrilateral and its circumradius. Q4. Explain the significance of the circumcircle in Delaunay triangulation and its practical applications. Q5. A triangle has vertices A, 0, 0, B, 4, 0, C, 2, 2, 3. Find the equation of its circumcircle. Take your time, these require deep thought. And here are the next 5 questions to truly test your mastery of circumcenter and circumradius. Q6. If the orthocenter of a triangle is H, 1, 2, the centroid is G, 3, 4, find the coordinates of its circumcenter O, Q7, given a fixed base above length, C, and the vertex C moves such that angle C remains constant. Describe the locus of the circumcenter of triangle ABC. Q8. A circle passes through the points 0, 0, 6, 0, and 0, 8. Determine the radius of this circle and the coordinates of its center. Q9. Discuss how the concept of circumcenter can be extended to 3D space for a tetrahedron, defining a circumsphere. Q10. In a triangle ABC, if the circumradius is R and the angles are A, B, C, prove that the area of the triangle K is equal to R superscript to sin A, sin B, sin C. These questions demand a blend of analytical and conceptual understanding. That wraps up our comprehensive exploration of the circumcenter and circumradius. We've journeyed from basic definitions to advanced applications and competitive problem solving. We hope you found this deep dive insightful and enriching. For more such engaging and detailed educational content, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for regular updates and more fascinating lessons. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep excelling in mathematics. See you in the next video.